Hi everyone. So this week I had thought that I'd take an early start to my reading because I had a book launch in Lahore, which is one of the other major cities of Pakistan. And I got back Thursday night, and then we had a festival going on here. So my early reading became just normal reading because I'm just 100 pages in right now. So Julia Takes a Breath seems like a YA, young adult, queer fiction. It's a story about Juliet. She's just come out to her family. She's got a huge family. She lives with her parents, grandparents, and I see aunts in the picture as well. And nobody takes her seriously in the beginning, but as she confirms, she says it's not a phase and it's not a joke. And that's when her mom locks herself in a room and she's going to Portland to intern with this really famous queer author who has written a very famous book that she fangirls over. She's going to Portland. Her mother doesn't say bye to her. When she reaches Portland, so she's from Bronx, New York, which I don't know. Coming as an outsider, I'd feel like she'd be very woke. She'd know what's going on. She'd be in the in of things, of how to navigate herself. But it seems like when she reaches Portland, she's introduced to these new words and preferred gender pronouns. And I like the fact that she says, why are they preferred gender pronouns? They should be mandatory gender pronouns. I really like that dialogue in her sort of account. There are some passages that kind of found a place, in my research paper as well, and I'm quite surprised that most of the mandatory reading from the coursework is aligning with my concept of the research paper, which is the concept of God, and somehow even the parable of sower was talking about earthseed was the concept of God. Lauren was recreating the concept of God, and here also. So Harlow is I don't know if I'm mispronouncing her name, but she is basically talking to Juliet at this point, and she says that all I did was say I knew for sure that God was real, and it set off her debate team skills. After she laughed and gave me that "Are you serious, babe?" face, she deconstructed the reasons why attempting to make God exist past the realm of faith and into realities of the human world were absurd. We lay on her futon in the middle of the dorm room, surrounded by tea light candles. She argued that God couldn't exist because God wasn't made up of anything solid. God couldn't be touched. God couldn't walk into a supermarket and buy a gallon of work. Lainey had a million reasons. So this is not a conversation between Harlow and Juliet. She's recalling a conversation with her girlfriend Lainey. But I actually find, she explained that God was at best an elevated spiritual feeling and at worst one of the most brutal myths people have ever created. So I think when I was reading The Color Purple and when, I found these extra reading, research books that I have been skimming / reading through, I find that there is so much, it's such a vast topic that I don't even know if I can do justice to it. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I am kind of scared because I think I've taken on too much, but it's too late to turn back now. So I'm going to try my best and handle this topic with as much care and respect as I can, because the concept of God can just be so different for very many reasons. So I'm coming back to my reading here, No God But God by Raza Aslan. And so he's basically talking about religions with only one God, right? And we see that God can be perceived in so many forms, and it doesn't have to be one form of God. So he's talking about Islam, and he says that Islam then branches into two major sort of sects, that is Shiaism and Sufism. No, Sunni and Shia, and then Sufism. So it says, although sharing a common sacred history, each group strove to develop its own interpretation of scripture, its own ideas on theology and the law, and its own community of faith. So you can see that even religions, even monotheistic religions, as to say, also get divided. So Sufism is a completely different sect of Islam. Shia and Sunni, they both are similar, but they also disagree on a lot of aspects of Islam. So in practice, it actually becomes very different. Even though you're following the same God and the same, sort of rituals, your belief is different. And I think belief is what is important in what you consider God, or don't consider anything as God. Don't consider a higher authority. So yeah, that's it for now for the reading progress, and I'll see you guys for the next reflection, discussion, reading progress. Bye.